Good evening, everyone. Treasure Troller here from the partially mask wearing Militant State of Michigan. So we're going to talk about Alone on this vlog. I'm going to do 2 more vlogs tonight just for, well, what the hell. I haven't vlogged in a while, but I thought I'd do a real quick one on Alone Frozen. I'd really planned on watching Alone, on watching Frozen. I got very disinterested in Frozen, and then I binge watched it last week. The video ended up being like way too long for what that show was worth, basically. So like I said, I was very disinterested in Alone Frozen. I think one of the reasons was because they were back at the same spot that Alone was at, and there just really was, it was a starvation contest. There wasn't a lot of game there to be had, and I just really wasn't interested in watching 6 more people starve. I was a little bit surprised with the shellfish that they were finding. There was a bit more sustenance on Frozen, but I just was a bit turned off. That and some of the contestants. Some of these people had only lasted, 2 or 3 weeks on their previous one. I didn't think they were that deserving of a second chance. And I think also something that came up in this show that doesn't come up in the other ones. I'm almost afraid that when with these shows come in new strategies, and like I'm afraid that the starvation strategy is going to become a big thing. I think what's going to happen with Frozen is a lot of these people started talking about how, well, I know how I felt during my first time on Alone, and I'm sort of starting to feel that again, and I'm just going to tap out now before it gets worse. So the experience, the prior experience or the previous experience seems to lend to a negative outcome for some of these people, where they're not really willing to risk as much as they were initially. That's the first thing. I do like if you stay a certain days, you get part of the prize. I did like that aspect of it. I was a little bit disappointed because Kaylee is my favorite, and I wanted Callie to win. And she wasn't able to make it through. And then some people were talking about, one guy was, I can't think of what his name is offhand, sorry, had made the comment in one of my vlogs about, by Noah or whatever. I find her unwatchable. I absolutely find her unwatchable. It's the sort of the body language thing with her when she's talking. She's sort of raising her eyes up in the air like she's thinking this thing out. It's a very intellectual answer and process that she's giving you. It's all about educating you. And she, she's sort of like, she came out a little bit early. She's sort of like the bookworm that has found some sort of social space. And as much as she has this social space, she's still socially deficient in a lot of ways, which I'm sure a lot of these people are. A lot of them would like to spend time alone in the woods. They're not outgoing people, but I know that they had made a comment about how much she's done for the show, the brand. I agree with that. She's on a lot of Facebook fans pages. She does a lot of these like wilderness survival clinics. She does a lot of that. So I do think she does a lot for the Alone brand, but she's just, to me, she's just unwatchable. So I'm going to try to come up with a few ways to make the show better, rather than we'll never stop criticizing some of the things that these people do, but maybe come up with some constructive ways to make Alone a better show. But this does lend, these two shows though did lend something to the show that didn't happen, but it's happened in a few of the last shows that sort of, I guess, made the show over and done with. And that was, there wasn't the big kill. We've had the big kill in previous seasons, and it was like, oh, well, it's all over now. And so I think there was a little bit of a sentiment to get away from the big kill and have these people sort of work their way through things. I'm not sure that, not at least there wasn't the big kill, but there really, to me, wasn't the availability of it either. So when you remove that aspect from the game, or the challenge, I think you take away a lot from the show. So that's one thing. They need to make sure that there is big game that is available. The one thing about, now thinking about the game, she talked about, eating the fox, but we saw her one time after she had skinned out the fox, whatever. They showed her eating some of the organ meat, and then that was it. You heard nothing more about the fox. I mean, usually they're smoking the meat up, and they're talking about rationing it out for 3 or 4 or 5 days. There was none of that. It's like she processed the fox, she ate a few organ meats, and then that was it. That was a little bit strange. But anyways, she's unwatchable to me. And I just found the show to be, I didn't find it watchable. I was very disinterested in it. So that's about all I'm going to say on Alone Frozen. We'll come back later with some suggestions on how to make the show just a little bit better. So this is Treasure Troller saying aloha and good day.